Hello, hello, and happy August. It is a beautiful, sunny San Diego day. The birds are chirping. They're in the tree right in front of me. So nice to be one with the nature vibes. I can tell you that. I just finished moving my desk around. It's like a whole new situation. Today, I'm sharing an incredible conversation I had with the amazing Laina Caltagirone. Laina is obsessed with helping others elevate their lives through manifesting, mindset, and personal and spiritual growth. Laina is also a private coach, a speaker, an attorney, as well as the proud owner of the Soulcation. Be sure to check her out on Instagram. You guys, all of her links will be in the show notes. If you are into the woo, if you are into the power of visualization, the magic that happens when you actually write stuff down, you are definitely going to want to listen to this entire episode. Welcome to the Happy Workaholic Podcast. I'm your host, Kellyanne Gorman. Over the past 20 years, I've worked in beauty, luxury, corporate, and service-driven industries. I created the opportunity in these careers and in my own businesses that allowed me to travel the world, experience once-in-a-lifetime events, and build brands while providing my expertise to clients all around the globe. Life is short, and when you're given a second chance, you better believe I'm going to take it, celebrate it, and share it with you. This show is intended to elevate your mind, upgrade your business, enhance your life, and become part of a positive and uplifting community. If you're ready to take your business and life to that next level you deserve to be at, this is the show for you. Inspiration, motivation, and determination are what got me to where I am today. Tune in every week to hear from myself, other entrepreneurs, professional patients, small business owners, and fellow podcasters who will be featured on the show. I'm here to remind you to work hard, share your story, follow your dreams, and never, ever give up. Thanks for taking the time to subscribe to the Happy Workaholic Podcast. Today's episode starts now. Hey, Laina, how are you? I'm so glad to have you here. You guys, I cannot wait to share this conversation with you. If you noticed on my Instagram stories and you heard in the last couple of episodes, I was talking about this hashtag LFG challenge. Laina is the creator, so Let's Fucking Go was all about being accountable, setting yourself up for success, and really taking time to reflect the night before your day, setting yourself up for the day, and then checking in the afternoon. And it really was incredible. And it came into my life at a time that I really needed it the most. And it kind of gave me that extra boost I needed throughout the end of this pandemic and to get out of quarantine. So, Laina, I'm so excited that you're here. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. And I love that you did the challenge.
I know, it was so good. I even brought it to Vegas. I think I messaged you. I'm like, I even brought this folder to Vegas and back, and I'm still on track.
That's amazing. It makes me so happy.
Oh my God, it was so good. So I have you on the show today because I want you to share your entrepreneurial journey. And I know what you do now, but how did you get to where you are now? What was the first thing? I know, it's like, tell us your life story. What were you always thinking as a kid that you were going to do? And then how did you pivot into changing down the road?
Well, what's funny is so a quick recap of my story is I went down the road of being an attorney, and I did that for 5 years. And I was not recently, 6 months ago, I was home over the holidays, and I was looking at this old little book that I wrote. They used to make us write these little books when we were little.
Oh, yeah.
It was called All About Me, and it was
my God.
What do you want to be when you grow up? And I wrote an attorney, and I drew myself in a little suit. So I think my dad is an attorney, and I've always admired my dad. So I grew up interested in it, wanting to be it. Went down that route because I kind of didn't know what else I wanted to do. I didn't really have anything I was super passionate about, or a crazy gift or talent that I wanted to pursue. So I love school. I love learning. I figured it would open a lot of doors. So I did that whole path for 5 years and realized it's not what I want to do. So now I'm in a whole different line of work.
Did you just wake up one day and have that feeling in your gut, like, I think it's time?
Everyone asks if it's a specific turning point, and it was more like a slow boil,
Yeah.
At first, okay, shit, I just passed the bar, but is this really what I want to do? And then I'd start my first job, and it was in a courthouse. I'm like, I don't like this vibe. And then I went to another law firm, and I'm like, I'm doing foreclosure work. This doesn't really feel like me, but I'm going to try this out. And then I moved back to Tampa, which is where I grew up, and my dad has a law firm there. I was supposed to take over the family law firm. I joined him for like 4 years, I did personal injury work with him. And then over those years, I just became increasingly interested in personal development, increasingly knowing that this wasn't the stuff that I needed to be doing, the law stuff. And at one point, like I said, slow boil, it was just kind of like I was building things on the side, and then I became really ready to go and leap. And so I did, like 3 years ago.
I love this story. And when you left and you decided to pivot into what you're doing now, did you take the time to just like reflect and really figure out like what do I really want out of life right now? Like, how am I going to set myself up?
Oh yeah. That's what started this. It all started because I was pretty unhappy. Everything was like good on the surface, but there was definitely something missing in my soul, like something more that I wanted in my life. And as I began to like learn about myself and get clear about what I wanted in things, and also learn more about manifestation, I learned that I can create anything I want. And one main thing I wanted to create was a career that I'm passionate about. So there was so much time thinking and dreaming and getting clear and trying random things and working through my own beliefs about what's possible and figuring out what I'm interested in. It was a whole journey.
It really is. And I don't think people realize that you really and truly have to take the time to visualize what you really want out of life. And like the power of manifestation is just like unbelievable. And it wasn't really until I tell this story a lot, but when I was sitting in a chemo chair, I would always visualize myself coming back to San Diego, being by the ocean, and now I can smell it from my bedroom door. I'm not even a mile away. And now here I am. And now I'm not sick. And now, so I like would have these thoughts in my mind and I would write things down. And now here I am, like misdiagnosed and next to the ocean. Like, it's just insane. But at the time you don't realize when you're kind of setting yourself up for that.
Oh gosh. It's so precise. It is actually like so precise what you can bring into your life. And it's amazing. It's an amazing body of work and process to apply and thing to learn about. It's dope. You can use it for everything. And it definitely manifests in my career. That's for sure.
And I love that you have a business where you can create any kind of opportunity for yourself and create these programs and these retreats for others that really need something like this, whether it's in their personal or professional life. And I remember you were always, I forget the name of it, but your retreats in Mexico where you always go, and that was always on my list, but
Soulcation.
Yes. And I'm like, I need to go there. But we were talking earlier before we hit record about my legal cases. And that was always something that was holding me back. But now it's not. So now I'm ready to go live my best life now that we're allowed out of the house.
You got to manifest coming to the next location. That's for sure.
Oh my God. Absolutely. Sure. What are some of the favorite aspects of your business that you've created right now that you look back on and you're like, oh my God, I love this part?
Oh my God, the freedom.
Yes.
Freedom, I'm not sitting at a desk anymore and doing things I don't like. I'm completely free to spend my day how I want, focus on the projects I want, create what I want, mess up, redirect, have success. I'm just free for all of it, free to do all of it, from like the way I navigate my days to what happens in my business. And I love that. It's so important to me. So that was something very important, and it's really nice to have it,
And I appreciate you saying messing up, because as an entrepreneur, I feel like you just become the best version of yourself and best at what you do by trial and error, by going through failure, by messing up and creating an even better version of yourself in your business. So I think that's so important. It gives you like this extra power, I feel like.
Oh, hell yeah. And it's all learning, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's all learning, and there's things that work and there's things that don't work. And I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned is like when something doesn't work, to not make it mean something about you or about your work or about what you're capable of or about your future success. Like, it doesn't have to mean any of that stuff. And it's really hard when you make it mean all those things, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. Now, what are you focusing on right now with your business, especially now that we're breaking free, even though we do have the freedom from working from home and working from wherever, which is such a joy. But what's going on in your business now?
Well, like 6 months ago, I started on this path of doing corporate, and I didn't really intend this, but it turned out amazing, and I think I'm going to keep pursuing corporate. I just wrapped up a 6-month contract with Westfield, and they're an amazing company, and I did private coaching and video content creation and speaking at their retreat. I did a whole mix of things, so I'd really love to see what else I could get into corporate, like helping companies kind of design wellness programs for their people. And then obviously my private clients, I would love to get a retreat on the books, and just continuing to create digital things that allow me to reach more people. That's it. That's my focus.
I love that. Where would your next retreat be? Like, where's your dream location? Or do you love the one spot so much?
I love Tulum. I mean, I really love Tulum so much. I could see myself do one in Malibu. I think Malibu is beautiful and amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But Tulum is just, it's got this like very healing kind of quality to the land and to the atmosphere and to the people. And there's just this like, I don't know, it's a different place, and it's really supportive to the kind of things that are taught about manifestation. Like, it's the perfect complement, you know, like it just fits. So probably Tulum.
I've never been there. I've been everywhere else but there. And so I'm excited to come to one of your retreats because it's on the board.
Perfect. It's exactly how you do it. Manifest it.
Exactly. Now, when it comes time, you sit down and it comes time for you to create something new. For example, the LFG challenge. You thought of that during the pandemic, or that was before?
I thought of it during the pandemic. I mean, I think they're like, the way I feel like things are created is such like it's such a process, and it's such an evolution, because I think I had like one version of that challenge, and then the quarantine happened, and I kind of thought of doing it in a different way. But always when I want to create something new, I sit down and I have like a meeting with God and the universe. Same thing. And I sit down and I'm like, okay, I really want to be used for something new. I'm really feeling the desire to like create something new. This is what I want it to feel like. This is what I want the effect to be. This is what I want the experience to be like. And I'm open, like, please guide me to what's next. So it's like that initial conversation where I'm sitting down, whether I'm journaling or just thinking about this, but I'm creating a space where I'm initiating something. You know what I mean? I'm initiating something, and I'm getting God and universe involved and asking to be led and setting the parameters for like what I want to experience. Yeah, I want this to be fun, exciting, uplifting, empowering, whatever it is. And that's always the first conversation. And then it kind of flows from there, and things are changed and added, and then something results, you know, that I run with. And it's a cool creative process, but it looks a little different every time.
It's so funny because I try to make everything look the same and feel the same. I'm the most scheduled and organized person, but yet the universe is always looking out, because my best programs I've ever created were literally within like a week or two. And something that was needed. People kept asking me. I kept getting these signs, and I'm like, I just need to create this and launch it now.
Yeah.
And those are the best ones.
Too. I'm with you.
I feel like you kind of need to. Like, why are you going to sit on it? Like, people need this information. That's why you're feeling it. Like, it needs to be done.
Yeah, and then I lose interest. Like, if I don't move fast with it, I lose that excitement about it, and then it feels like a chore, and then it's going like that, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Now, what's your routine when it comes to working? Are you an early bird? Do you like to work late? Like, what kind of routine do you need to be in? Or things around you? Like, for me, I need my candles, my oils, my crystals, like all that stuff needs to be around.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, it's got to be a vibe. I mean, I love taking my mornings really slow. I love getting myself into, I can't just jump into work. I have to, like, prepare my mind and my soul, like, my space. So, like, I like to start my days chill. I like to get, like, some sort of movement or workout in. I like to have something to eat. You know, I don't just, like, rush into work, cracked out on a cup of coffee. I, like, am slow in my day, and then I, you know, take my shower. I set the environment just like you do, my crystals, my candles, my things, and then I love working at like 4. I love working from like 4 to like, and then sometimes I get bursts late at night where I just go, And I will cancel plans. Like if I have something scheduled, but I get into a workflow, I prioritize the workflow.
Oh, absolutely. I do the same thing. And
my friends are very flexible. I'm like, I'm sorry, I love you, but like I'm in this crazy flow and I think I just gotta go with it. They get it.
And only another creative person I feel like would really truly understand that. Once you're in that zone, it's so hard to exit and come back. You're never going to end up in the same spot because I've tried.
And it's a blessing to have it, I feel like that's like God, the universe, like downloading through you. So it's a blessing to have that excitement and that feeling. So I try to like stay with it.
I love that. Now, how did you find Westfield? Let's talk about the corporate. Are you utilizing LinkedIn for that? LinkedIn's my go-to.
No, it's totally going to be like a God story, manifesting story, because there's never, and I love when people ask how did you find your apartment? How did you move the career? How did you get in touch with Westfield? How did you manifest this person? And the how is going to look different for me than it will for every other person. So my how, my method, my way is going to be totally different from everyone's way. But so there was no strategy, like there was no LinkedIn. To be very honest, I was trying to do the Soulcations, but there was something that was like not working with my retreat. It was not feeling good. I wasn't excited. It kind of felt like a chore. And I really, really wanted to do something where I wanted to like shift a culture. I don't know why this got in my head, but I was like, I want to shift a culture in some way, like affect a culture in a big way. I don't know why. Don't ask me where this stuff came from, but I was talking to God about it and I was writing it down. I'm like, clearly something is not working with this retreat. Like, this is what I want. Show me how to get there. Like, lead me, And I remember I had an idea to message a friend of mine who works for Westfield. And I was like, hey, if you guys ever need any kind of wellness content or anything, think of me. So I followed that idea. I sent him a text message. I didn't hear anything for 6 months. And out of the blue, I was actually in Tulum just on a vacation. And I got a message from him saying, hey, put together this, this thing for us. This is something that we need help with. Let's see what kind of content you create, what kind of plan you would create for us based on this problem. And I did. And one thing led to the next. And then I met with, different executives and pitched a proposal and that was it.
The rest is history.
Yeah, so literally it was praying about it, getting an idea, sending that text message, detaching from the outcome, and being open and available to new opportunities, because that's just like how it goes with me and God. It's how we do things.
I don't think it could have aligned any more perfectly, because I do remember seeing you on one of their retreats, and that was all pre-pandemic, and now you're done. So you didn't have to deal with any of the cancellations of the travel and everybody else dealing with that. Like, it just aligned perfectly with you.
It did. It was so cool. And it just ended. June is my last month of coach. So now I'm like, ooh, what do I want to do now? Some videos that went out to all their employees. And so I was able to help a culture, hopefully,
So the format of that, you did videos that they would log into and see, and then you were there in person for the retreat? Is that how you modeled it, kind of?
Yeah, there were videos that were disseminated. So I created a video series, and that got blasted out via email. And then I did some private coaching, and they had a retreat, like the most amazing, beautiful retreat in Ojai that I got to speak at and teach some wellness content and lead a workshop for some executives. So it was a whole mix of amazing things.
That's so fun. I haven't gone to Ojai yet, but it's definitely on my list.
It is
magical, right?
Crazy. That's my favorite hotel in Ojai. Full wellnessy, cool hotels. It was a very magical experience. I'm very grateful.
I think that a lot more companies are going to see that they need something that you're offering a lot more now, especially coming out of the pandemic and everybody working from home and having more, accessibility to things that are online rather than in person now, because so many more corporations are saying, yes, just work from home. Like, everybody's saving time, money, and energy on both sides, I feel like. So what you're doing right now is so important. And I say, hell yeah, stay with corporate. They all need you.
I know, I agree. It's so cool. And they really don't get access to, everyone is so busy and everyone is so stressed.
Yeah.
And it's like I can kind of condense this information in a way that is relevant. so they don't have to spend time searching. How do I de-stress? How do I get more spiritual? How do I get in touch with myself? I can kind of bring it, in an easy, simple way.
I love that whole model. I love everything about that. And I just think that people are realizing now more than ever, like, things like that are just so much more needed.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what's going on traveling tomorrow that we were chit-chatting about earlier? So what do you plan on doing besides the corporate? Like, what's up and coming in your world other than the travel?
My world, like in my business?
Yes.
Well, I mean, really, I'm at a point where, let's see. I have in this men's program, I'm doing a masterclass on manifestation for this 12-week men's personal development program. So I'm a guest teacher at that.
I love that.
I'm feeling like a lot of these kind of collaborations are coming to mind. There's another friend of mine who asked me to do a Zoom training on jumping careers. So I'm doing that to about 1,000 people next week. So I'm just doing different guest kind of teachings, as well as I'm going to be turning these into something for my audience as well. So really just like digital. I mean, I always have a lot going on. I always have private clients, digital courses, and group programs, just different iterations of that. And I definitely have a money mindset 30-day thing coming up that's going to be dope.
Ooh, interesting. I just got out of debt over the pandemic. I was determined. Last bill paid.
Hell yeah.
I was on a mission.
What did you do? What was your did you do money mindset? What kind of work did you do?
How did I pay off everything?
Or did you do like manifesting, or what was like?
Oh yeah, I just saw my number, and I just honestly, like, I feel this power like within me, and I feel like I have the power, and I feel like a different person, to be dead honest with you, like, since I wrapped my legal cases. Like, I can now take the charge of my life again, where before I didn't have that power. So now I'm like, okay, so now that I have this, I'm writing everything down. I visualize it all. I write it down every single day until it's done. And then I did it.
Hell yeah.
Yep. That's like been my biggest accomplishment. I'm like, I'm on a mission, and I'm leasing a brand new car in the fall, but I haven't decided what yet. So I need to figure out what.
I know, test drive some hot cars.
I know, I really want a Macan, but then there's also, what was the other one that I saw the other day? I think it was the Mercedes. I definitely want a small SUV, and it's this like deep gunmetal blue color. I can't remember which model. I dealt with luxury cars for years. I should know. But I don't know. I'm manifesting a small SUV, and I just have to figure out which one I like.
Yeah. That's amazing. Congratulations. So visualizing every day, I'm very proud of you. It's freaking amazing how this stuff works.
You have to. I know. And I'm not even kidding. Like, my whole office, my walls, I'll show you when we're done. Everything is listed and written down. And every morning I have my ritual. Like, I'm really into sound baths right now. And there's one in Venice that's happening this weekend. I'm like, should I drive up there? Should I go? Do you follow the Copper Vessel on Instagram?
I do not.
Oh, you will love her. She has a crazy story. I want to have her on for my professional patient series. But she is a Reiki master. She does all the sound baths. I found her on Aloe Moves, which is Aloe Yoga's app. And then from there, I found her on Instagram. Then I found her on YouTube. So I go in between depending on what type of sound bath I want. Like, do I need to relax, or do I need like a full rest, or do I need to like be rejuvenated in the afternoon because I'm exhausted? So that's my new thing. She does them virtually too, but I am really focusing on, like, I'm trying really hard to like slow down because I have a lot ahead. So I'm just, visualizing everything that I want and making sure. My thing is writing it down. If it's not written or in front of me somewhere written, it will never happen. That's my process.
Gotta write it down. Totally agree.
Now, if somebody wants more information on you and to see what's coming out next, where would you like them to come find you? And you guys, I will put all these links in the show notes so you can go follow Laina and see her current Instagram stories, what's going on in her world, all the things.
Yes, I mean, I would tell people to definitely go to Instagram. That's why I'm there every single day. And in my bio, there's always a link to my website, a link to whatever I have going on. So definitely like Instagram and definitely the stories, because I really try to give guidance every day because manifesting is definitely a process, but it's also a lifestyle of just being intentional. So I share constantly like the things I'm doing. So if anyone wants to learn, those are a great place. And if you do want to do any of my courses or trainings, those are all on my website, and that's linked in my bio as well. So check back.
Yes, thank you so much. Laina, thank you so much for your time. I know you're getting ready to pack and travel, so I appreciate you spending some time with me.
Of course. Of course. Thank you for having me.
Your time is so valuable, and I really appreciate you carving out a little piece of your day to listen to today's episode. If you liked this one, please share it with someone who you feel needs to hear this message. And don't forget to tag me at The Happy Workaholic on Facebook and Instagram so I can feature you on my stories. Listening on Apple Podcasts, I would love it if you would leave me a review on today's show. Your input means so much and also helps me create more of the content you'll love. Want to continue today's conversation? You can join us in the Happy Workaholic Network Facebook group. Simply answer the questions and you're in. For more information on myself and to get the latest in business, LinkedIn, organizing, and podcasting news, sign up to receive my weekly newsletter at thehappyworkaholic.com. I hope that your day continues to be happy, healthy, positive, and productive, and I'll talk to you again soon.